What's going on today, guys? So today I want to be working on the Cutlass. I got Sam out here to help me. We're going to be trying to do some new brakes all around, new hoses, pads, drums, shoes, and then I also have some control arms that we may be able to get to. Don't know. But we're going to start with the front, work our way back. Still waiting on some parts from the parts store, so we're going to get as far as we can and see how that goes. First thing we're gonna do is see if we can't get the caliper off, so then we can get to the spindle nuts, try and get those all off, get the rotor off, and then eventually we'll try and get that upper and lower control arm off. It's well used.
That's nice.
Well used.
That's good.
That is a groove if I've ever seen one.
Speed grooves.
All right, as you guys can see, we got the spindle out of there. It was actually much easier than I was expecting it to be. I was telling Sam we should buy more vehicles from out of this wretched state of Minnesota. So we're gonna try and remove the lower control arm bolts and see if we can't get those out of there. All right, just got back from the parts store, got some parts, got a rear diff gasket. I wanted to change the fluid on that. And then I got all the brake hoses. We got the calipers out from the lines. I guess let me turn on light. We are gonna have to take the headers off in order to get these lower control arms off. I didn't think about that whenever I put them on. So if you are doing any motor work, and you plan to do control arms, I guess do the control arms first. So Sam and I are going to work on getting those headers off. All right, so Sam's side, we got the new upper control arm just loosely in there with some of the nuts hand tightened. We got to get the lower control arm on here. We did actually have to take the header off on this side, but luckily not all the way, so I didn't have to take my oil filter relocation bracket off. So on this side, it looks like I was hoping not to have to take the header out, but we may have to. Sam and I are going to try and see if we can't get these bolts out, because it looks like there is a head of a bolt on the backside, so possibly they're not pressed in. If they're not, we can hopefully pound them out, get this out without having to take the steering linkage off and the header, but we are gonna find out. All right, so Sam and I were lucky enough to actually get the driver's side on without having to take the header fully off, which is a huge win. Those nuts are technically studs, but you can take them out, so I did, and then we just tightened them from here. And luckily with the new tubular, you can actually get to the nuts without bending this up super high. So we've got the other side on, got that tightened down. Sam's gonna be working on putting the header back in and then the lower control arm, and then we're gonna be buttoning up the other side. And then we got to figure out how we're going to get those springs back in. I believe I have a spring compressor, but I don't know if it's going to work for that type of spring. So I now have both upper and lower control arms in both sides. All right, so we got one side in. It went fairly smooth. There was a few hiccups, but we got it done. So the driver's side is done. I'm gonna be helping Sam work on the passenger side now. We did end up having to modify the tool that I had. It's basically just a regular spring compressor. We just took out the bottom piece, and then we cut a piece of channel, or not a piece of channel, a piece of quarter-inch plate. So that it can span the bottom of the control arm and not deform. It worked pretty well, so hopefully we can demonstrate that on this side. And yeah, we'll go about doing that. All right, so as you guys just saw, we had to do some finagling to get the compressor out of there, but now that is out of there, this is all put back together. We're gonna call it quits for today, but in the next video, we're gonna be putting the new brakes on the front, re-bolting on the header, and then yeah, I guess we'll see what else we're gonna be doing after that. But if you guys like the video, please like the video and consider subscribing. See you next time.